Protea is undeniably an amazing Warframe, but she does have one major problem, and it's quite an unfortunate one. Her turrets are just very stupid. You can't really blame them. The AI in Warframe has issues. The turrets have a massive case of ADHD where they can't decide on which enemy to focus on, even if you summon them in front of a group of enemies. They will hit enemies in the distance all the way in Antarctica. So usually, grouping tools are needed to put enemies in front of Protea so the turrets can be like, oh, those are the enemies I should shoot at. I just didn't see them till now. Were they there all along? And you know what's funny? I did release a build a while back where I used Nautilus to group enemies, and to have it constantly group enemies, I used Hydroid's Helminth with its augment to apply corrosive and viral, and then heat from my turrets. That combo does damage and triggers Manifold Bond, where it constantly reduces the cooldown of Cordon, and it was just pure ability spam. And to increase my overall damage, I was running Green Shards. That increases ability damage on corrosive procced enemies. But now, all of that has changed with the Ileweaver update, all because of one weapon, the Scyotid. This weapon has a very simple utility, and I immediately fell in love with it. I love when they release utility weapons more than any new weapon do damage type of weapon. Utility weapons offer a new way to play your frames and expand on a build, or even allow you to change and improve on a build. And that's exactly what happened here.
Oh! Okay. 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 Fantastic. Oh my god! It literally just has multi-shot. Oh, you know what it needs? It needs reload speed. Dude, now we can just use Roar on Protea. That's even more damage because we have grouping with her thing. Oh my god, what a game changer. I love utility weapons. This is why my favorite weapons are Epitaph, Kratos, you know? Dude, I'm even forgetting to use my one. Oh, it's violence? Stack, 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 stack. You did not just get rid of my fucking turrets. No, he did it. She did it. Come here. Eh? Okay, he's dead. Roar. Put that. Bro, wait. Yo, hey, so you know what? Do you know what this means? With this one secondary weapon, I don't need these anymore. Oh, because I have Roar, so these are gonna become useless. Damn! Look how one weapon changed an entire setup. Yeah, that's it. We'll probably just put reds for strength.
With the Scyotid's unique trait, alternate fire on any surface and spawn threads that instantly yoink enemies together. Some compared it to the Provosis Cernos, and no, look at this. Not the same. And it's way slower because of the charge time and delay. So yeah, with this weapon, I have instantaneous grouping, and that means I can change my companion, Helminth, and Archon Shards. So let's take a look at how I put this new Protea build together. Alright, here we're on the Simulacrum just to showcase how devastating this build can be. Big damage. That was just with one turret. So let's just have a look here if our companion debuffs them with viral. So they got viral everywhere. The explosion is going to be a lot more devastating. All right, now onto the loadout. For the Archon Shards, 2 casting speeds and 3 strength shards. Casting speed makes all your animations faster. Do not let animations shine, very important. For our Helminth, that multiplies our ability damage and double dips or damage over time. To be honest, we're just going to be doing a lot of damage. This Helminth will also help you out if you're going longer into a mission. Roar. Who would have thought? Guys, oh my god, it's crazy. It's crazy. The universal damage multiplier that affects your abilities and weapons. So all you have to do is make sure your roar is always up, group enemies with the Scyotid, and cast your artillery. That's it. Enemies die. For survivability, you have your grenade fan. Here's a little tip for some Protea players, or even any other player. Go to the options. Go to invert, tap, hold abilities. And you're going to scroll down to Protea and select inverted. Why do we do this? Because originally, if you quick tap, you spawn these things. These are useless, right? You want your shield grenade fan, because once you pick these up, you get a bunch of shields and shield regen over time. This is your greatest survivability tool. You see this thing orbiting me right now? That's my shield grenade fan. You can have a multitude of these for yourself and allies, and your companions can pick them up. See? They got the little thing around them. This is one way to keep them alive as well. Here's one thing you guys should know. Protea's passive. Look on the bottom right there. 100% strength. You gain 100% strength for every 4th ability cast. So it builds up these bars after 3 casts, and then on the 4th cast, you get a 100% increase to your strength. Right now, if I were to add my Madurai Void Sling, which gives me 40% increase in strength, including that passive, and then cast my Roar, look at the increase right there. And then let's try this out. It's even more damage. Way more damage, because we're multiplying all of those hits. And, of course, viral from the Panzervopophyla. Now, for the weapon that makes all of this possible, the Scyotid. This is not a damage build. Who would have thought? It is pure utility. Again, as you can see, the unique trait, alternate fire, lobs a webbed snare that damages, paralyzes, and groups up to 8 enemies within 10 meters. The number of enemies afflicted multiplied with multi-shot. So you want to have a bunch of multi-shots. I have this multi-shot mod instead, just to give me the faster dodge speed, which is really nice for Protea and her passive dodge. Magnum Force, just to have the negative accuracy. Quick draw stunning speed, just for the reload speed. Eject magazine, if I'm weapon swapping, it automatically reloads the weapon. I have it modded for blast here, but Ice Storm also gives me increase to my magazine. And secondary fortifier, if you attack overguarded enemies, you get overguard, which is pretty nice for some additional layer of survivability. Otherwise, if you want to add more forma, and you can add even more magazine, so this will allow you to not even reload the weapon for a long period of time. Now onto the Protea build itself. For the Arcanes, Molt Augmented, for the 60% strength increase after 250 kills, and Arcane Energize. On pickup, get a massive burst of energy. And this is going to synergize really well with her Dispensary. This drops health and energy orbs. And if you pick up health orbs, it's also going to be converted into energy thanks to Equilibrium for the orb pickup conversion. And in the aura, Corrosive Projection, reduce enemy armor so you deal more damage. Best mod in the game. Spending less time on your bunt is a huge DPS increase. My duration mod is narrow-minded. None of my abilities worry too much about range except Blaze Artillery. However, Blaze Artillery at base has 30 meters of detection range, and lowering that target range so it focuses on enemies in front of you is actually pretty decent. For my strength increases, I have Blind Rage for the 99% increase in strength, minus the efficiency. We don't care about that. We're Protea. And Precision Intensify to boost my Roar. Rolling Guard to cleanse you of status effects, and if your shields break, perform a dodge roll, and you get 3 seconds of invulnerability. And then just walk over to your grenade fan and instantly replenish your shields. Prime Flow for the large energy pool, and then finally, Archon Vitality. This will have you deal double the heat damage. Your Blaze Artillery is pure heat damage. So you're multiplying your total damage with Roar, and then Archon Vitality allows you to deal double the heat damage. If you want, you can add another forma to have a maxed Archon Vitality. Otherwise, this is the build. For my Panzer, very simple. We got this setup right here. Viral Quills to spit viral, Martyr Symbiosis for your skill issue, Panzer Devolution for the Panzer skill issue, survivability mods, duplex mod so it splits up and it also deals its own modded elements from its weapons. And this is pretty much the main things you want to worry about. Otherwise, everything else is for other builds. And for the weapon, the build hasn't changed. This is it. Another additional thing with the Scyotid, it also allowed me to change my Baruuk setup. The build hasn't changed. The only thing that changed was the Helminth. Originally, I had Pull as the Helminth, but I switched to Omamori for, additional survivability. And I'm using Scyotid instead for the grouping. Because remember, lull is the best way to erode the restraint meter. And we have Omamori for survivability. Great survivability here. Oh, they're not attacking me. Oh, they got radiation procced. So yeah, use your Scyotid. You can lull enemies and do Giga Explosions. If you want to know more about this build, do go check out the video. Anyway, folks, that has been it from me. I do hope you enjoyed and learned something from this video. And if you did, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Warframe content, streams, and so much more. Do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, a peace. Bye-bye now.